Wait a few minutes to see if anybody pops in before I get started. Hi, Danielle. Yeah, I've not been getting very many notifications either, and I checked my settings and I should be getting them. Like, I didn't change anything in my settings, and I used to get notifications all the time. And I got one for Patty's yesterday for her Will It Work Wednesday, which I think is just such a fun idea. But I've not been getting a whole lot of them lately. Good evening, Michelle. Hello, Kim. So welcome to our weekly Throwback Thursday. Whoops, sorry. I'm just trying to adjust my light, and I always forget that it's a new light that I have, and it's got a sensor. So I just have to like wave my hand over it. And so it'll like turn off when I go to adjust it. So I got to remember to kind of reach around the other way so that it doesn't do that. Uh-oh. Something's going on with your laptop. Hello, Tamara. Hello, hello. So as I said, it is time for another Throwback Thursday, and this week we are going to use this fun set called Penguin Paradise, which by my records, right here, show me that it was released in July of 2022. This is a really fun set, and thought it would be fun to work with something to just to kind of get us in the mood for some warmer weather. It's not quite beach time, at least here yet. I mean, honestly, it's never beach time for me because I'm I'm not a beach person. But at least ready for warmer sunshine and outdoor activities and such. So we are going to work with this guy here, the one who's surfing. I will say that Kim has this set currently on sale right now, and I actually had myself better prepared this time, and I had the link up ahead, so I already went and linked it in the comments at the top. Although I don't know. I don't know if I can pin that comment or whatever, but anyways, regardless, it is in the comment section, as well as I linked up for Wicked Black ink, which, as you can see, I've got my little cube here, and we're going to use that. And I'm not sure what's all in stock, but our inks, when they are fully in stock, are available in a full pad size, the ink cube, and also the re-inker. And Wicked Black is definitely a staple that you're going to want to have in your collection because you can use it for all the different mediums. As so far, it has worked for everything there. I know, he's fun, isn't he, Kim? Oh, sorry. It does feel that long ago. It's craziness. Doesn't feel that long ago, what, that, I'm just trying to think back to what I was saying, that it was beach time? Dean and I had gone out for a drive before I had to start my live, and so I grabbed a Tim Hortons coffee because I was like, I'm not going to put on a whole pot of coffee when I get home just for this. So, so let's get started. We are going to, as I said, work with this little surfing dude. So if you do have him, feel free to ink him up. Oh, that we released this set. Crazy. I know, eh? Yep, 2022, which was actually a long time ago. It's almost 4 years ago now. So that's crazy, crazy, crazy. I have prepped most of my stuff ahead of time here. Just so that we can get cracking on. I'm going to move these things out of the way now that you know that we've used the Wicked Black, and I'm going to move my stamp set out of the way as well. And I'm just going to bring in a scratch piece of paper to lean on here. And I'll show you what we're going to be working with today. So here's, let me just fix my light again here. Hopefully that will be bright enough there. And I'm using my old phone, like old phone, for recording this, because I have been having such terrible issues with my new phone only wanting to focus on my hand. And so when I'm coloring, I just feel like all my videos lately that I use my new phone on, which has a better picture quality, but it goes so blurry. And I was talking to Dean about it, and said, like, can you think of anything? Because I know I've gone into look things up online, and it talks about settings in your camera. And so I went into my video settings and kind of played around a little bit. And then when I did like just a little test on my own time here, it worked fine. But the problem is when I go into Facebook Live, those settings don't hold. It's like I can't find anywhere where there's an opportunity to fiddle with the video settings. And then Dean was really helpful and said to me that he thought it was partially because of the contrast and because I'm so pale that it's having an even harder time picking what to focus on. But I think it's mostly because my hand's moving. So he's going to help me look into it. I'm going to try to look into it a little bit more. But in the meantime, put up with a little lesser quality because this is a phone from a few years back anyways. But I'd rather have a video that's not constantly fighting to focus on my hands than a good quality picture, but that's blurry all the time. So is it okay? Good. Okay. Yes, a wobble, which I trimmed down. So here's my plan. I was playing around a little bit today, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I kind of was in the mood for playing with a little bit of embossing, and I pulled out some old Cuttlebug embossing folders. And this one was kind of fun because it sort of looks like waves. And so what I thought I would do, because I liked it in white for the texture, but then I wanted color behind my little surfing guy here. So I'm going to leave this panel with the wavy kind of portions that are embossed so that these swirls are sticking up. I think I'm going to leave this as a white panel behind, and then I'm going to pull in some of my distress inks, and I've flipped it over this way so it's like debossed, I guess would be what I think what the technical term is. I don't know, maybe I made that up, but where the waves are like the imprint instead of being raised. And I'm going to go over that with some Distress Oxide inks, and then we'll just kind of make a kind of teal blue sort of panel there. We're going to color our little guy in Copics or whatever markers you have. I've got Ohuhu and Copics here. I'm not really sure yet what all I'm going to use. I did leave this very straight at the bottom here because I am going to line it up with the bottom of this panel here. I'll probably have it sticking off the edge a little bit. And then at first I thought I didn't have any wobbles. And I was like, oh my gosh, that ruins my whole plan for tonight. And then I found a couple. I had one great big ginormous one and a couple of mini ones. The mini ones are too small. The big one was too big. So I've trimmed this all down here so that I'll be able to kind of stick it behind this wave so that he'll be in motion here. So that's my plan. And then we are going to use the sentiment that comes with this set that says surfing by to say hi, which I've already got prepped as well. Are you impressed that I'm so organized? All right, so I'm going to set these things aside, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is just ink up this panel here, and then we'll color our little guy, and we'll pop him on this card, and that's that. So let me just move things out of the way here. The two Distress ink colors that I was going to use are Broken China and Peacock Feathers. Just because it's kind of pretty. Now, I did play around with a couple techniques because I tried actually applying the ink to the embossing folder. And I'm not going to tell you how many sample runs I took of it because it was ridiculous. One of them turned out pretty decent with the Peacock Feathers, but the Broken China just, I don't know, it wouldn't give me the coverage that I was looking for. And I don't know, I just wasn't too crazy on it. I tried it on both sides of the embossing folder, and I don't know, it just wasn't working. So I thought, you know what the heck, we'll do it this way. I'm going to use sponges just because that way it won't fully cover everything, and I'll hopefully have a little bit of the white peeking through from the debossed areas. So I figure I'm going to do a little bit of a gradient. We're going to start with the Peacock Feathers at the top, and we'll do Broken China at the bottom. Okie doke. So I am just going to grab an ink blender rather than using a brush because I do want it to kind of skip over some of the areas, just so, like I said, we have a little bit of white showing. So I'm just going to grab these sponges here, and I'll stay zoomed out for this part. My body isn't very beachy. I'd rather be the penguin. Yeah, I'm not a beachy body here either, and I'm okay with that. I fry in the sun, and so yeah, I'm okay. Like, I do like when we went out east last summer, and we like kind of did a coastal run all along PEI. Like, I loved visiting the different beaches and such, but not for the purpose of like laying out on the beach. I liked going and just feeling the fresh air, and yeah, walking in the sand a little bit, but not parking myself out there for the day or anything. So peacock feathers, and I'm just gonna start to bring this in here, and I'm not worrying about getting like perfectly even coverage. And I don't mind that it's going a little bit into the grooves or the debossed areas, but I like that that you are getting a little bit of variation here. Okay, I'm going to switch over now to the broken china. And we'll get the side of it here. I haven't reached for an embossing folder in I don't know how long. And I don't know what made me do it. I feel like I saw a video recently where like a card maker was using an embossing folder. And I only have like 2 of them. But I was like, oh, maybe I should try that sometime. And I don't know why I'm getting funky lines there, but whatever. We'll cover that up with our surfer. Must be a flaw in the paper. Okay, how does that look there? Kind of go up along the edge here. Okay, and I might just go back into the peacock feathers for a moment here. Also, I realized when Kim messaged me the other day that I forgot to put my last Throwback Thursday up on YouTube. I apologize. I downloaded it right away, because I always do that right when I'm done. I hit download right away. And for whatever reason, I forgot to actually go on to our channel and actually upload it. So when I am done with this video here this evening, I'll get them both uploaded here. So sorry about that. It was an oversight on my part. Like I said, honestly, don't know why I forgot, but too many things going on, I guess. And I was really sick a week and a half or so ago. So if I do cough or anything, I'm sorry. I've just got that residual cough that's being a pain in the butt and holding on for forever. Super annoying. All right, so that's that. Easy peasy. And that's the card base pretty much done there. Yeah, I don't know. I got these funky little dark marks there, but that's okay, because I think it must be like some wrinkles in the paper that was picking it up. But once, I mean, they're over here, but I think I was going to put him off a little bit. I don't even know if you'll notice that much. And actually, I do have something else that we're going to add on, so we'll maybe just strategically cover some of those spots. You know what? Let's go ahead and assemble this card base now. Sometimes I like to get that out of the way. And then we'll, since I'm already kind of zoomed out here anyways. As you can see, I was I was experimenting on the back of this with some different ink application. I don't think I want the textured side of the cardstock, so this is just some old basil cardstock that I had in my stash. Okay, there's that. And then actually, before I touch this white cardstock, I'm just going to clean my hands because I'm sure I'll just go and smear ink all over that nice clean white embossed panel. So I'm just grabbing a wipe here to get rid of any residual ink, hopefully. All right. Did anybody tune in to Patty's Will It Work Wednesday yesterday? It was a lot of fun. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I just think it's a lot of fun. Patty's so creative, and I think it's a great way. And what I love about it too is transparency, because I mean, how many of us, you know, we're like, oh, will this work? And sometimes you try something and it works out amazing, and then other times, you know, you kind of figure out that maybe the technique was just off a little bit and you have to tweak it a little bit. But I love experimenting together and seeing what will work. And yesterday she did this awesome idea where she was using seed beads to make raindrops falling from some clouds, and I'm definitely going to give that a try. I have some seed beads, and I know I used them years ago. One time when I was doing a mermaid card, I used them like as the, like along the ocean bottom, and I put like a ton of glossy accents and like dropped them in there. It was a really heavy card. And then another time I used it for like the bottom of like a fish tank sort of look. But I hadn't tried them for that raindrop effect, and I just think it's a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to give that a try, and definitely will tag Patty in that. So I look forward to what else she's going to try. And I think she's got a poll up in the group to ask people to vote on some ideas that she has for next week. So if you didn't catch that, check out the group for that poll, because she's looking for people to vote so that she knows what technique to try out next. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, Kim. All right, so that's that part of our card. Hopefully that looks okay. I think that's fun. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down as well here. At first I was going to ink up the whole background panel, and then I don't know, I changed my mind. I think it looks okay. I'm committing to it now. So we're just going to stick this down kind of in the middle. And then we'll come back to this once we've got our image colored up. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to set that aside. And that way our card base is ready for us once we get our little penguin colored up. Now let me just move some of these things out of the way. The other, actually I'll wait till we assemble, because like I said, there's one other little embellishment that I'm going to add to our card, which I think will be fun. Okie doke. So I'm going to flip this over here, and this is actually one of my calendar pages. I don't do beautiful spreads like Kim does, because I know she does on the thing, but and I think I can show it. But yeah, like I just put like all of my Kraftin Kimmie stuff on here so that I know what to do when. And I color code everything, and I have it hanging up above my desk to try to keep myself organized. But they do come in handy for when I need a scrap piece of paper. So that's the like writing that you're going to see peeking through. All right, I am going to zoom in. Okay, let me just, you know what, I'll just stick on that side because there's not as much showing through, and that's annoying to see that text showing through there. Let me just get myself situated here. All right, grab another little sip of coffee. Okay, and we're going to color this little guy. This is where I didn't plan. Actually I can probably come in a little bit more. Let me just see here. I didn't plan out colors and stuff because I figure he's pretty easy to color. I am going to leave some of the top of the wave white, actually probably most of it there. like as the, a white cap. Is that what you call it, I think? But I'll pull out some different colors here. Let's see, probably some BG. I'm limited with what I can do with my Copics just because so many of them are dried out, and I really need to get some more re-anchors. But I haven't done that yet. I'm kind of cheap. And also, the thing is, I used to go in person to get a lot of my Copic stuff, but there's no brick and mortar store around me, so I tend to forget, and then I get to the point where I'm about to, you know, want to color with them, and a lot of my go-to colors are dry. So I'm just picking up some colors here. Now, because I went with some more teals here, I think I'll definitely use BG01, BG05. What else do I have that's not dried up? Let's just see here. B000 maybe. That looks like it might be okay. And probably should go with something a little bit more straight up blue. And I'm just trying to see what I've got that might work. 14? Maybe that one. That's B14. I don't know. We're just going to go for it. So, like I said, a lot of the top here, I am going to, I'm going to leave that white. I'll put a little bit of shading in there. But I had toyed around with whether or not I wanted to do like liquid applique or something. I opted out, but you could. And then I thought about like maybe some Snow Tex would be fun, but I think mine's dried up, so that's not going to work. But Snow Tex was what I was going to go for, but we'll leave it at that. All right, and then as far as his surfboard, I don't really have any other color in my card other than just the blue and white, so we'll have to decide what we're going to do with that. But I'm just going to start on the underside here, and I'm going in with, this is BG01, and just going to throw some streaks of color in here. Also, I'm convinced that I don't think, like I've always used Nina paper for coloring. I've tried other ones, and I don't know, I feel like it, either my coloring has degraded over the years, or I don't know. I just find I'm not able to get quite the, like the depth and the blends and such. My markers just don't seem to be behaving quite the way that they used to. I don't know. Because I was just looking back at some pictures of other stuff. So I don't know if I need to kind of be on the hunt to try a different paper, or if it's user error. Also, I did cut this out ahead of time, so sorry, my big old fingers are going to be in the way, but I just thought rather than watching me fussy cut after. So, just throwing down some BG01 there, and I'm going to go in with some BG05. And like I said, trying to leave the top of this white. And we'll just go back and forth and blend this out. But for right now, I'm just throwing some streaks in the curvature of the wave. And I have very little to hold on to here. You know what I should do is I could put some temporary adhesive on the bottom of this to hold it, but we'll just see if I can manage to hold it straight enough here. Let's go in with that BG000. So I'm just going to play around with these blends a little bit. BG01. Just use any combo of blues that match if you did the same technique as me there. anything that will coordinate with the colors of the inking that you did. Now, will this B14 work? I think we can add a bit in there. Try to get a shadow under that white cap there. I might even go in with a darker blue yet. How's everybody doing? Is anybody coloring along? What did you guys do today? Anybody have a crafty day today? I was going to get crafty and then I ended up not. I had a bit of a headache today. I luckily had a massage book, so had to work on my neck a little bit. I woke up with a bunch of tension in my neck. So I didn't get nearly as much done as I had hoped. I was going to work a little bit more on release stuff for this month, which I cannot share about, but I was at Kim's this week and got my stuff, and also we have a retreat coming up. I got to get working on that as well, but my day did not go exactly as planned. I'm going to try to, let's see, figure out one other deeper color here. Let me just see what I've got that will work. That is actually drying up. I have to make a list of all the re-anchors that I need. Let me see here. P24, how's this one? No, that's not really what I want. Like I said, I'm a bit limited. No, that's too bright. Okay. Where is... See, and I put all of my dried up markers in another bag somewhere. That's too dark. Well, I don't know. B39, let's see, maybe we'll add a little bit of this. B39, tomorrow morning I'll be releasing, woohoo! Fun, fun. This is B39. And I'm just gonna add a bit. Just underneath here for a bit of a shadow. And then maybe just up this way a little bit. And we'll blend this all in. Maybe under his surfboard a little bit. And just a little bit. And a couple of streaks here. Whoops. Oh my goodness, it's getting away on me. A little bit there as well. Okay, let's start working back a little bit now. And I'm going to go back to the B14. I should be stopping every once in a while, making sure that I am staying in frame, because that's the worst. You get focused on what you're doing and then you don't even realize that you moved off the screen, and then everybody's stuck watching nothing. I think we've all probably done that before. Okay. Alrighty, and we'll go back into the BG05. I don't even know how much I'm really going to use that 000. I just grabbed it to start with because I wasn't sure yet what all I would need. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the BG01. And yeah, I think I'll use that as my lightest color here, and I'm just going to swoop through all of these streaky marker strokes here. Working around his little flipper. Has anybody ever tried surfing before? It would be an epic disaster. I'm not ashamed to say. I'm sure it would be entertaining for people watching. Oh, we're just going to work back and forth a little bit now. I'm just, you know, going back between my lights and my midtones. Oops. Oh. Woohoo! Coupon codes are awesome. Such a great chance to add to your stash. Make sure to check the store too, because Kim always posts well in advance what the designers are going to be using for their Throwback Thursdays, and puts things on sale so that if you don't have a particular set or a stencil and you're wanting it, that's the time to scoop it up. And then bearing in mind that you live close enough for everything, if you order quickly enough or early enough, then you will have it in your inky little fingers by the time that Throwback Thursday rolls around, and you can play along. So shop smart and take advantage of those sale prices. I'm going to grab my BV29. I think so too. Hey, Danielle. Even watching the like people who do like the stand-up paddle boarding, I'm like, no, thank you. I will sit my bum firmly down on the surface because I don't think I'd be able to hold myself up there. Just screenshot it so I'll be ready for tomorrow. Oh, for the coupon code, Michelle? Okay, so I'm just getting a nice deep shadow underneath there. And then I think I'll go in with this BV29 here as well, just to get underneath that surfboard. And we'll just add that little bit there. And maybe, I don't want to go too crazy with this dark here, but just add a little bit there. All right, and I'm just going to work back a little bit again here. I'll grab that B14. Again, it really doesn't matter. Just grab an assortment of blues and kind of tealy blues. Because the thing is, you like to have variation in the water, so any combo is really going to work, but just make sure to get some lights and darks in there so you've got a bit of range for your shading. And I'm going to add a bit of shading into this white area here too. And then the real dilemma for me is going to be figuring out what color I want to do that surfboard. Okay, how's that? I think that's okay. I'm going to grab BV31, I think, and I still want to add like some textury bits to this, to be honest. But I'm just adding just a little bit of this BV31. I really wish my snow text wasn't dry, because I think that would have been fun. And then maybe I will add, what blue can I add in for a bit of a shading there? Not that one. I'm just playing a little bit here. Well, let me see how this works. This is B45. This might be a mistake, but we'll just add just a little bit along these lines here. And I'm going to go back to that BV31. Just for a bit of variation there. And then I'm going to grab a blender. I don't really use blender very often, but I'm just going to soften that a little bit. I think I will maybe add a little bit of sparkle to this with some stickles after. Kim, need Stardust stickles again. I don't know if you can get those anymore. But at one point I had so many bottles of it because it's my favorite. I use it all the time. And I am nearly out. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough of it to use tonight. But I do need to get some. So I don't know if that's something you can get in still or not. But I'm putting in my request if you can. All right, maybe just a teeny bit more blue. I just like to have a little bit of variation in here. I don't like to leave anything just flat white. Okay, and go back to that BV31. I'm bummed I have to go back to work tomorrow. And I mean, it's my regular days off, but I just feel like they went by so fast, and I feel like I just walked out the door yesterday from work, so I'm sad that it's time to go back already. Okay, I think I'll leave that at that. Pretty easy peasy. Hopefully I didn't go too crazy and too off with those blues. I should have probably gone a little more teal with it, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with that. Right, Danielle? I'm okay with that. I'm just pausing to take a sip of coffee here. I don't know why I'm telling you that. You don't need to know that. All right, let's color this little penguin. I was trying to decide whether or not to go a little warmer with his belly, but because we're using all blues and whites, I don't think we will. Let's stick with, I'm going to stick with, I think, where's my C1, C00, and I might use some of that BV31 as well. So let's just go a little shadow under his chin. Nice thing is these little guys color up so quick and easy. I'll do a little shading under there, a little bit under his beak. And actually, let me grab my C3 as well. I love Danielle's mantra. I'm okay with that. I'm really trying to adopt that more a little bit in my life. And just be happy. I'm going to go into that BB31. Okay, and I'm going to grab my C00. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. Just blend this out a little bit. I'm going to grab that blender as well. Like I said, I don't use it all that often, but I think that might be okay. We'll let that dry a little bit. And again, I'm trying to go with what markers I have that aren't dry. I think we'll have to go with N's, N5, N7, N3, I think, and then probably work a bit of black or something into it. I don't know how I have so many markers on my table already for such a little image. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to go with the N's because I don't have a C7 anymore right now that works. So we're going to go with N's. Okay. Okay, question. Has this video been going out of focus at all, or has it been okay? I keep trying to look up and I haven't seen where it's, you know, trying to focus in on my hand more than the image. Sometimes I think these newer technology, because there's so many lenses on these new phones that I don't know how they all work. But as long as the quality is okay on this one, I think okay, good. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Kim. Okay. I think I probably will just be sticking with using this older phone then until it's garbage and just won't work anymore. Because this is, like I said, like 2 phones away, because the last phone that I had, Dean kept that one as a backup. And we tend to get new phones every 2 years. This is N7. I haven't really been talking too much technique with this little penguin because honestly, he's so little that I don't really think there's much to share. I'm going to take my glasses off for a sec though, just so I can see a bit better. I'm going to go in with black. And hopefully my head's not going to get in this shot here. Just in the darkest areas here. Okay, and then go back to my N7. And N5, whoops. Is my head in the way? Hopefully not. And so I'll go back to my N3. I'll probably have to go back and forth here a little bit. Yeah, let me go back and forth between that and the N5. Just until we get a nice smooth blend. Okay, and I think I'll just grab that N7 for a sec, just to bump up these darker bits. I still feel like that N5 and that N3 are not blending really well. Just going a little grainy. One more time. I think that'll do. All right, let me put my glasses back on here for a second. Okay, I'm just going to put a few of my markers away because they're all rolling into my workspace. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, I've got just that cough that doesn't want to let go, and every time I cough, the pressure in my head is terrible. And my breathing has sucked too. Now I'm just complaining, but my asthma always flares terribly after I've been sick, and this time is no exception. And I'll be fine for a while, and all of a sudden I just get so short of breath, and my inhalers aren't helping at all. Okie doke. So we need to do his little feet and his beak. I'm just picking out what I want to use. I think this was what I had in mind. Maybe not. Hold on. Hold the phone. Nope, not that either. Was it that I'm wondering if the one that I had in mind is one of my markers that is dead. Sorry, just bear with me for a sec. I think we'll use that. We'll use YR15. I'm just going to take those glasses off again here. And I feel like I should probably do just a little bit of shading here. E13. Let me see if this will work. It's probably not going to be dark enough. Let's go with E15. That's better. Because, you know, even the tiniest areas, I can't leave it just one color. I need to have a little something there It's subtle, but okay. So I've put it off long enough now. I don't know what color to do my surfboard. Because like I said, I don't have any accent colors to go with. I'm trying to decide what would look nice with this. Maybe purple. The problem is I don't like my purple markers. And I do have my Ohuhus here, but well, actually, I just realized I did get a couple new purple ones, like replacement ones, when Kim was selling them. But the Ohuhus, they don't blend as well, at least on this paper. What do you think, purples? I don't want to go with anything too bright. I know I've got that little pop of orange there. I think I'm going to go with purple. So I'm going to grab, I've got V15 and V17. Do I still have the V12? I do. We'll start with the V12. Yeah, I'll do a different color, maybe just along the border there. I'm not going to overthink it. We'll just do it. Hopefully it was the right decision. I mean, purples and blues are pretty harmonious. Okay, that's 12. And that's V15. And then we'll go V17. It's kind of a jump, the I forgot the V15 to the V17. V17 is a lot more blue, I feel. And the other ones are a little bit more of a reddish purple, I think. Let me think for a moment. I don't think this is going to work. Hold on. BB08. This is BV08. I just want to get a little bit more of a shadow underneath here. I don't think that was the right decision either. Oh well. Back to the V15 here. Actually, I think I'm going to go in with those ends and 17 here underneath. There we go. And we'll just make it work. Now I'm remembering that I used to struggle with this blend as well. Well, just toggle back and forth till it works. I'm so tempted to go into the Ohuhus, but because they have some nicer shades, but like I said, they just don't blend the same way. But I think this is okay now. Okay. All right, now I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do on the edge there. I think I'm just going to keep it purple rather than introducing another color, only because like my if I was using design paper that had a lot of colors to pull from, then I may have gone with some more adventurous colors, but because I've only got the blue there, I just don't want to. I don't want to go too crazy. Yeah, I think that's okay. What do you guys think? Yay, nay? I mean, it's gonna have to be a yay because it's done. so there is no option of a nay anymore. All right. Let me see here. I'm just gonna put my markers away, and I need to go around my edge. I need to replace this, and this, I don't even know where this like little brush tip marker came from, but it is perfect for going around the edges of things because it doesn't really bleed. And I'm going to try to find a replacement for it, because I find sometimes going around, especially if it's like a white area here with Copic, actually I think this is a new one. I think I got 2 of them, but it can bleed into the areas so easily, and this one doesn't. Sorry, my husband just messaged me, so my watch beeped there. But I think I had found some brush tip ones on Amazon I might try, but of course they come in like great big packages, which I don't need that many of them. All right, that's done. Okay, let me move this out of the way here, and we're going to bring our card back in. I feel like I went a little blue on the wave, but that's okay. Oh, I got to zoom back out this way. How's that? Let me just catch up here. Oof, why is there so much shadow? So I'm just adjusting my lights a little bit here. Okay, gotta get my wobble here. And we're gonna put it this way. I don't even know the proper way to stick these down. I mean, I always go with the thicker part on the card base. Tell us more what? Oh, for Kim, just ordered new goodies for the journal club. Exciting. Oh, thank you, Danielle. You're always so encouraging. Okay. And of course this wobble is beaten up because I trimmed it all up to try to make sure it would fit. Okay. Yes, it will. I am going to put a little bit of glue on it as well. Just for a little insurance. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Okay. Like I said, I tried to trim it so it would basically fit onto the wave portion here. I'm just sticking it down. And now I got to pull the backing off of this part. Wobbles are so fun on a card, and some images they just call for it, and I was like, the surfer definitely calls for it. Okay, I'm just going to add again a little bit of glue just for a little extra adherence. And like I said, I wanted to line this up with the bottom here. It's not going to line up perfectly. Ooh, look at that action. Ooh. Ooh. Sorry. I'm used to having that bit of wiggle room with the glue. Okay, well, I think that's just going to have to do there. Which, when I look at it straight on, oh no, that's a little low. Nope, we're going to have to go a little higher up. Can I still get it off? I don't know. It's stuck on there pretty good now. Nope. We're going to go with it. I mean, when you look at it straight on, it's okay. Look at that. Wobble, wobble. It's just it's hanging a little low. I wanted it so that it would sit like that. And I was a little off with my placement of my wobble. Still cute though. Sorry, that's off the screen a little bit. Darn it. All right. Let's all say it together. I'm okay with that. All right. Now I'm wondering if I should pop this up on foam squares or just leave it flat and let my surfer be the only dimension. As I'm just sitting here playing with him, because that's just fun. It's true they don't, but when I look at it straight on, like you can't really see it from this angle, but it's looking like it's hanging like that. But oh well, what can you do? What can you do? What do you guys think? Put this on flat or should it go up on some foam squares? Do I leave the surfer as the only dimension? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So what else I was going to add, I've got these like clear little dewdrops, and I was going to add a couple of these around just because they look like little water drops. So I'm going to add some of those on. I've really been loving dewdrops again. I don't know why. They're an old supply, but they're fun on foam. Okay, so I'm going to grab foam. Secret. I've been sitting here with a heating pad on my shoulder, so I just had to move that off of me first. I need to grab my foam tape. Oh, yes, you probably just heard me groan when I got up. That's embarrassing. Oh, guys, I just found more wobbles in another bag that I have here. Well, one wobble anyways. Okay, I'm going to grab that, and I wanted to see if I can get just enough of my Stardust Stickles out to sparkle that wave up a little bit. Okay. Let's just see here. Get a little piece of foam. Groaning is better than that is true, my friend. That would be embarrassing. It was just a big ooh when I stood up. A little bit of glue for insurance again. And we'll put that foam tape down there. All right. A little bit more tape here, or sorry, pardon me, glue. Okay, and let's pick up that sentiment and stick it on the right way. And I think I'll kind of put it, sorry, I'm relying on watching this on the screen here. I think I'll put it right about there. Surfing by to say hi. And I do want to do a couple of these dewdrops. I'm going to use my Art Glitter glue just because it dries clear and doesn't stay tacky if it oozes out. I don't know why I have such a hard time with my glitter glue clogging. You guys seem to just grab it and it works right away. Mine always seems to be a little clogged and I have to get it going again. And I keep the pin in it and the applicator is screwed on all the way. Sorry, bear with me for a moment. You know what? It's late in the evening. Fingers don't have to work right and your brain doesn't have to work right now. Apparently my glue doesn't have to work right either. Come on. Sorry, I'm just off screen trying to get it to go. There's a clog in it that I almost have out. Maybe. Come on. Just work. Oh my gosh. It's like right there. I think like the tip that I had on it before, I think was a faulty one. And I got a new one from Kim, but man, it was working for a long time. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe there's a little hole in the bottle that air keeps getting through. Oh, hold on guys, sorry. I nearly have it working. There, I think that's better. Okay, now I got to decide where I'm going to put these. Do some there. Oops. How's that look? One more because I like an uneven number. I think that placement will look okay. Does it, Danielle? Okay, thank you. So it's not just me, eh? Because I was on the struggle bus there. And I don't know why. Like, I feel like when I watch, say, like Kim do her videos and she goes and grabs it and it flows so freely. Now that will dry clear underneath there. I know it's looking white right now, but I feel like as I work out. Oh. Butterfingers here. Come on. Where's the flat side? Nope. I missed the glue. There we go. One more here. There we go. Stick my pin back in here, even though it doesn't seem to make a hill of beans a difference. Oh, now it doesn't want to stop flowing. Oh, whatever. Okay, where did that one go? Oh, my fingers are too big. Okay, I'm gonna just put those extra ones away here. Thanks, Michelle. I thought they'd be fun. The crazy thing is I went to get all my stuff out for this card, and I was like, where are my clear dewdrops? I need them. And I looked around and around and around, and I could not find them. And as a last ditch effort, I thought, you know what? Maybe I left it in my bag from when we were away last October, and sure enough, that's where it was. So I'm trying to see if this Stickles bottle will work. So yeah, apparently I hadn't fully unpacked from our trip. Nope, I think this one is all dried up. Hold on a moment. I think I have another one, maybe. Okay, this one might have a bit in there. Do I have any of the panels to show the ink on the embossing folder? I wonder if you tried a different ink. Well, see, I used the Distress Oxides because I could spray them with water a bit. Let me see if I still have them, because they were okay. I just, it was just, oh yes, there is enough in here. It was just not as consistent of look as I wanted. I could have gone with it. I almost did anyways. Like I would get part of it that would look good. Like I said, the peacock feathers seem to work a little better than the broken china. And I don't have a large collection of the Distress Oxides. So I had to go with what I had. There we go. All right. I don't know why this isn't wanting to sit evenly on the wobble, but I'm happy because I was able to get that Stickles to work. Let me just, what did I do with them? One moment. Oh, they're over here. It's kind of embarrassing how many different tries I did, because I might still use these at some point. Let me just see. Some of them I ended up inking over. And some I did both sides. I think that, see, okay. So here was one that I did. And I mean, it was kind of fun because it had like some different textures in there. But this got all blurry down in here. And I think when I like ran the embossing folder through, again, it slipped a little bit. And so the impression kind of went off. And so, but that one wasn't too bad. But see how you get like some areas where the peacock feathers just went a little better. And the broken china just was a little different. This one wasn't too bad. I almost used that one. This one didn't really work as well because I kind of swiped them and you can see the horizontal lines there. And then this one, I ended up getting like solid coverage on the peacock feathers and really speckly here. And then this one I tried the reverse way so that instead of putting it on like the flat part of the embossing folder, I put it on the raised portion so that like this is like debossed and the ink went in there. And so that one was kind of fun just because I had some leftover ink on it anyway. So I might still use these for something because they're kind of fun, but it wasn't really quite working when I was looking at it for what I like for the image, for what I wanted there. So I'm going to hang on to them. And then I also tried just like inking it up and using a different type of paper because most of this was, what is it called? The Bristol Smooth, I think. I'm just looking over. Yeah, the Bristol Smooth cardstock. And then this was a piece of, oh my God, now I can't remember, Hammer Mill. And so instead of running it through the embossing folder, I just like, I put it on, kind of activated with a bit of water, and then I just kind of laid the paper down and closed the embossing folder, which I might try too. But anyways, it's like by no means a new technique or groundbreaking or my technique. It's something people do all the time. But those were kind of my experiments. So that's no problem, Danielle. Thanks for coming and joining me. I'm actually going to get going too. But I am just going to pull in here again, see if I can get a shot with everything in it. I don't know if I can get everything in here. Just for Emily, and she does our, let me just zoom out again a little bit. Okay, how did that work? Kim, is that in the frame enough? Let me try to move my lights a little bit, maybe, so there's not so much of a glare. Let me just see how that went. I feel like maybe up a little bit. It's hard to get it all in. Maybe I wanted to have this looking the right way there for you. That works, Kim? Yes? So, again, Penguin Paradise. Scroll back up in the comments because I put the link to the set in there. The set is currently on sale. Wicked Black ink. Available, I think, are they all in stock, Kim, for all sizes for the Wicked Black? This is our ink cube. It comes in a full-size pad and then also a re-inker. Just not sure if they're all in stock or not, but when you go and check on the website, they will be. And again, use it with all your different mediums. It's great. So there's that shot. I'll just pull this a little closer just so you can see the, I don't know if it's going to show the Stardust Stickles on that. Probably not really, but I don't know if you can see the sparkle there. And then, yeah, he's on that little wobble there. How fun is that? And it really didn't take that long. I said to my husband, I'm going to see if I can do it in an hour. I didn't make it. It was like, now granted, some of that was fighting with my glue at the end, but I came pretty close. I mean, I think we were done the coloring by 8 o'clock, and then it was just the nitpicky little stuff. So thank you again, for joining me. Yeah, Kim just put the link again there for Penguin Paradise, 40% off right now. Great set. They color up so quickly. I almost used this little guy here too, because I think he also would be perfect on a wobble, because it's a little action shot of him splashing around. I may do a card with that coming up soon, just because, again, I think he'd be a lot of fun with a similar technique there, especially if you're doing like like you could do a whole set of cards for somebody for a gift even, and kind of have a theme there. So thank you so much. I'm not sure who's up next. Oh, good. Kim just said all of our Wicked Black ink products are in stock. I'm not sure who's up next week for Throwback Thursday, but it will be on the schedule there. Check it out, because Kim will have that set on sale as well, so that you can snag it if you don't have it already. Also, Kim, I think, is planning coffee chat tomorrow. That'll be at 10 a.m. in the group. And stay tuned for the release, or not, well, the release, yes, we have a release this month, but also I was going to say the retreat when Kim posts that. Check out more details on some posts in the group, but she'll be posting spots for that coming up soon. Sounds like she's working on Crafty Club stuff or the Journal Club. There's always something going on, and we have our challenges as well. So thanks a lot for joining me. Make sure to check out those tabs to see all the fun going on. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.